Okay, everybody, how you doing? We are live, and I'm hearing some feedback. Uh, hmm. Let's see. Let me turn me down. Okay, so can you hear? I don't hear feedback now. Oh, yes, I do. Carolyn, do you have your phone on?
No, I don't.
You have it turned down? Do you have earplugs?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to mute every time we talk. So I'm gonna have to mute every time we talk. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone. This is Deborah Jones from Blue Table Talk. We're talking to the candidates tonight, starting with them, and it's time for early voting. So we're in the primary part of it, and I have for you tonight Carolyn Gidget, who's running for a county judge, and so she's a candidate for running for county judge. So we'll talk to her in a few minutes. Let's talk about COVID first. I need everybody. This COVID is running wild right now. We need to get, like I said, as always, we need to get vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, wear your mask and stop spreading the germs, because a lot of people are getting it that are vaccinated, but they're not getting it as bad. So, but we need to go ahead and do what we need to do as far as our vaccination. I heard today CDC was putting out that children 6 months on up, adult wise, they're gonna be vaccinated. So imagine 6 months old vaccinated. So if they're gonna do it with the kids, we need to do it as adults, so we can prove to our children that, hey, we can do it as well. You can do it as well as we can do it. So we need to get it together and get vaccinated and do what we need to do. Wear your mask, wash your hands, keep your distance. Simple. And then we can stop the spread of this virus. We in it. We've been in it 2 years, and we have a long way to go now. So let's get it together, and we can probably get out of it in a couple more years. So,
Wow.
so tonight we have with us Carolyn Gidget, and I'm still hearing this feedback. Let me see if I take this off. Okay, okay. No,
No, you want me to mute? I can mute.
I know. StreamYard told me once before that if you hear feedback, you. So anyway, I have some on, and hopefully that you go. I don't hear the feedback now, so it's good now. But we're gonna go ahead and talk to Carolyn tonight. Hello, Carolyn. How you doing? Thanks for coming on tonight.
I'm great. How are you, Deborah? Thanks for having me tonight.
Oh, great job. Hold on. We understand that you're running for county judge. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know a lot of people know you because you were county clerk for 16 years, but still people don't know who you are. So let's go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself. I'm going to mute.
Well, thank you. I'm Carolyn LeBlanc Gidget, born and raised here in Beaumont, Texas. Attended the infamous school of Hebert High School, class of 70. I graduated from there. And I was employed by Southwestern Bell for 30 years prior to going to the county. So I retired from Southwestern Bell, and within that same year, I was elected to be county clerk for Jefferson County. As you know, I was the first African-American Black to win that seat, and only the second African-American in Jefferson County to win a countywide seat. Judge Davis was our first elected official that was elected countywide. So yes, I'm ready to run for county judge. I feel like I still have some more good years to give to the people of Jefferson County to assist in whatever way I can. You're mute.
Okay, so I need to talk to the viewers right now. So if you are just watching us, can you do me a favor and come on the comment page part of it, so I know that you're here, so I can say hello to you. I know I see Ramona Parks. Hello, Ramona. Thanks for coming in tonight. So just say a little bit something on the comment page, like hi Carolyn or hi Deborah or whatever, so I know that you're there and we can talk to you, because we need you to ask questions tonight as well as I'm asking questions, because she is going to be your county judge. And thank you, Mona. She is going to be your county. She is running for county judge. Look, I didn't already put it in existence. And we need to know. We need to know who you are as far as coming on the phone as well as coming on a page. Hey, Ruth, how you doing? Ruth says hi, Carolyn. And so, Carolyn, I'm going to ask you a question. Why, after retiring in February of 2021, you seek to run for county judge?
Okay, that's a good question, Deborah, and thank you for asking me that, because when I did retire in 2021, my comments at Commissioner's Court was that I was just taking a break, which is what I really, really needed. I think, for one thing, as elected officials, that we all should have term limits to make room for the younger people to come after us. So after 16 years of service to the county, I feel like I had achieved a lot of things on behalf of the citizens of Jefferson County, and I was looking at doing something different. In the meantime, God has a plan for all of us. My health was failing me for a while. So unfortunately, that slowed me down. So that added to the reason why I retired when I did. But God is good. He's brought me through, and I can sing his praises now, because about last year, this time, I could not even walk. So I am truly blessed and favored, and I feel like he still has something for me to do. And I want to make sure that I am obedient to him and help wherever I can.
Yes, God is good, and it's good to know that you getting back up to do what need to be done. So you stayed out for a while, like you said, and now you're ready to get back and get it going. So running for county judge or running for some type of office is a good thing, because you know the ins and outs. You know
Right.
you've been the county clerk for 16 years, so you know what's going on. I mean, you've been in the commissioner court, you did all that, so you know what's the in and outs are. So great, thank you for running for judge. What is the function of the county judge, and will you be able to perform the duties since you are not a licensed attorney?
Absolutely. The function of the county judge in Texas is as the presiding officer of the commissioner court. Now, he represents the county in many administrative functions. And it's more of a ministerial job, I'm going to say, as a county judge, because you're over the budget, over the budget for the entire county, to make sure all the departments are run correctly, all of them are funded correctly, and that all the citizens have the services that are required here within the county. Another duty, of course, they do handle the probate court. Now, in probate court, as long as it's not a contested case, you do not have to be an attorney. Like, if there was a contested case, I would have to actually delegate that contested case to one of the district judges or one of the misdemeanor judges to oversee that, which they are all licensed attorney. But as you know, we have plenty of attorneys and plenty of judges within the courthouse, so that should not be a problem to delay in any process for any citizens of Jefferson County. The other thing is that the county judge is the head over the emergency management, which in our case here in Jefferson County, Southeast Texas, that is very, very important, because we've had so many disasters to be accommodating for, and to make sure our citizens are safe and secure. And I think that's a very, very important job of the county judge, to make sure, as emergency management, that the needs of all our citizens are seen to.
So so you'll be working very close with other judges and stuff like that.
I'll be working with some of the judges if I have any cases that are contested cases. Say, for instance, there's a probate case, someone dies, and one of the family members say, well, no, I don't think they should be the guard. I don't think that they should be over that case, or I don't think they should be the administrator of that case. And if there's a conflict, then it takes a licensed attorney in order to determine that conflict. But if you just have a plain probate where everything's been decided, the family's not squabbling, they said, okay, this is what mother or father want, this is what we want too, then there's no problem with me presiding over that particular case.
I know as being concrete. Excuse me, I just started coughing just now, but I'm good.
Okay, all right, no COVID, huh? No COVID.
I'm
Okay.
good. Good. I know you've been the Jefferson County clerk for, like we said earlier, 16 years, and you have always fought for fair elections. What role will you take to make sure our voters are not disenfranchised?
Well, I'm going to take the role that I've taken the last 16 years. I have fought for us to get an election administrator. An election administrator is the person that oversees the elections for the county, and they are not an elected official. I've always thought that there has been a bias because me as the county clerk, I administer elections, and then Allison Getz as a tax assessor, she controls the voter registration rolls. And I don't think elected officials that can benefit either way should be a part of that process. Not to say that we've been unfair, but just the possibility. And there were some issues, I don't know if you remember, in Harris County, where the voter registrar purged a lot of rolls that should not have been purged, voters and stuff. And that particular person got in trouble behind that. So I think we need to remove the elected officials from the voting process and perhaps focus more on having an election administrator, which is what I'm going to say, 35% of the counties in Texas have right now. Even some of the smaller counties, Orange County, as small as they are, have an election administrator. And I think it's fair, and it will remove that elected officials from the election. So I want to make sure always, even as county judge, that our voters are not disenfranchised in any kind of way.
So who appoints the election administrator?
The election administrator is actually appointed by the county judge, the tax assessor collector as the voter registrar, the county clerk, and then you also have the two party chairpersons for the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. So it consists of a committee or a board, I would say, of 5 people. And they are the ones that go out and make the selections. It would go through the process of, people applying for that particular job, their qualifications. And the good thing about an election administrator is, unlike the county clerk or the voter registrar, they cannot endorse or support any candidates, at all. Whereas in my position as county clerk, if I wanted to endorse whoever was running at that time, say perhaps Judge Jones, I could do that, even though I'm still administering the election. So with the election administrators, there's stipulations legislative-wise that's not tied to elected officials. And that's why I think it would be a fairer process. And they have to be nonpartisan.
So an election administrator, they have to know the laws and stuff like that, or what?
Oh, absolutely. You want someone that's going to be familiar with all the election laws, because we want to always be in compliance. And but I mean, it doesn't take any rocket scientists. I mean, the Texas Election Code is online. You can go in and study it. There are classes and stuff that you can take to get certified as an election administrator. And the most important thing is that you have a mind to be fair in the process and never want to disenfranchise any voters.
Seems like a tough job to do.
No, it's really, really not. It's really not. But just think about it. The county clerk had to do elections on top of her job. So she had like double duty. So when election time came around, I'll be honest, something got neglected, because it's kind of hard to do both if you're going to really focus on elections with the attention that they should get. Mm-hmm. Like, right now, we're fighting right now for our rights, Deborah. We're fighting right now for our rights. And people don't understand the consequences, even when they removed part of the Voting Rights Act, whereas we were no longer monitored by the DOJ. And that came like open season for them to be unfair and disenfranchise our voters and stuff. So right now we are fighting for the life of democracy, and our vote, Dr. Martin Luther King fought for us to have that right. And now they're trying to take that from us years later. So we need to all step up, make sure that we get out and vote. And I always say it doesn't matter. Well, to me, it would matter who you vote for, because I want your vote. But as long as you vote, exercise your right to vote. That is your voice. That is how you get things done.
Exactly. And that's the killing thing about it, is we have to get the people out to vote. And if they don't get out to vote, then, it's no sense in you saying, Y'all put her in office, or this is that. No, you put it in office because you didn't vote. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
so if that's not the person you want, then we need to get out and vote.
It's
We have
exactly.
to. I mean, we've come a long way. Let's face the fact. We've come a long way. It's time for us to get out and do what need to be done because too many people have fought for us
Right.
to get where we are today.
Right.
So, excuse me, Ms. Gidry, how would you be able to assist with the economic growth?
Well, I look at economic growth as being a cohesive effort by all of us, not just by the county, but from within every political subdivision within the county, every school district, every port commission. So, what I would like to do is do some, I guess, development for different organizations so that we're all cohesive and we can all be on the same page. Because we know part of our problem why it's so hard to get people to do here because right now, unfortunately, our school district is lacking. So I think if we work together to make sure that our school district is like the Army say, all that it can be, which is what we wanted to do, we need to work with them in order to achieve that. Then I think we'll have a more cohesive environment where people want to come and reside here in Jefferson County. And of course, when you get people coming in, then of course the economy will grow.
I really apologize for me coughing. I really apologize.
That's okay.
I
That's okay.
can't get nobody to give me any water. Ain't nobody hit my Benji.
Oh, Benji, and you locked Benji up so he wouldn't bark. Oh my God.
So what can I say? Let me talk. Let me go back to my viewers. Okay, my listener audience. Okay, guys, I know you need. I know you want to ask Miss Gidry some questions. So please put your questions on the page, on the comment page, so that she can answer them because she is running for our county judge. And on the primary, are you by yourself on the primary, and then election, and then in November you'll be with somebody, or how does that work?
Right, that's correct. I am uncontested for the primary election, so I don't have an opponent. But don't take that as I don't need to vote because we
Right.
need to vote in every election. Show your vote in the primary election, and then that let us know how much harder we have to work for November. I hope we don't have to work too hard if everybody come out for the primary and then come out for November. And in the November election, I am challenged by the incumbent, who is Jeff Brannick, our current county judge.
Right, right. So you know what that means, guys. We have to get out and do our job. So we have to get out and vote. And so like she said, let's get out and vote now and get those numbers up. So when November comes, it won't be so hard for us to get her in the office. You see what I'm saying? You understand? Yeah. Okay. So every elected official have their own sphere of authority. How can you ensure every department is operating in the best interest of all citizens of Jefferson County?
Right. I think that we need to have some like you're right. Every elected official have its own sphere of authority. Like when I was county clerk, no one could tell me how to run the county clerk's office. That was my responsibility, and what I did was totally up to me, and nobody else could interfere. I remember one time I had a customer that wasn't very happy with the answer that I gave him, which was by law, and he said, "Well, I'm going to go talk to your boss." I say, "Well, who are you going to talk to?" So he told me, "I'm going to talk to the county judge." I say, "Sir, that is not my boss." He said, "Well, who is your boss?" So I had to tell him it's all the voters of Jefferson County. That's who I am responsible to. That's who either can lead me there or get me out. So every elected official do have their own sphere of authority, and the only way that you can unseat them is by not voting for them when their term comes around. But other than that, what they do all year is up to them. But what I plan to do is have some type of organizational development, which we've never had. We've never had a meeting that say all the departments come together, all the department heads come together, elected officials, and let's talk about where we're trying to take our county. Let's talk about our customer service and how we treat our customers when they come to the office. I have a pet peeve about let's talk about how we look within our environment. We should all look professional. And that's a problem that I've had in the past because everybody in the courthouse, unfortunately, don't look professional because I had rules, and everybody said I was pretty strict, which I wasn't strict. I just believed that the courthouse was a place of respect. And if I'm going to give respect to the place, I'm not going to come there like I'm going to the beach. I'm not coming there in capris and flip flops. I'm going to respect that entity for what it is. It's a place of business and a place, where people need to come to get their problems resolved or whatever. And, we have rules and regulations for when people come into courtrooms. You can't wear the muscle T-shirts. You can't wear flip-flops. You can't wear shorts for the ladies and stuff. So if we have those kind of guidelines for the people that's coming to the courthouse, certainly we should have guidelines for the people that's working at the courthouse. So one of the things I want to do is just do some organizational development for all departments so that we're all on the same page. So I don't have to hear, well, so-and-so get away with this here. No, we should all be the same.
Let me ask you a question because I have I'm not understanding this part of county clerk. I mean, not county, I'm sorry, county judge. The county judge, you have your mayor and your councilmen and everybody under the mayor. Is the county judge over the mayor or what?
No, that's a totally different entity. That is a political subdivision, and they have their own sphere of authority. And we don't interfere in what they do. We try to work with them, which as we should, because whatever benefits each political subdivision, each city, where it's Beaumont, Port Arthur, Rose, Port Neches, Neyland, whatever city it is that's a part of Jefferson County, it can only benefit the county as a whole. So my thing would be to work with each political entity to make sure that as a whole we come together and we're for the betterment of all the citizens that reside within the county.
So like we have, Beaumont and our surrounding area, we're known for hurricanes. And so when we go into the hurricane season, the county judge steps in.
Right.
Why do the county judge step in, not the mayor?
Well, the county judge steps in because he oversees for all the political subdivisions. The mayor is just that political subdivision, say the mayor of Beaumont. So you're going to have all your mayors, and that would be my thought process. When you enter emergency management, you should have a representative from every political subdivision within that meeting of what we're doing and what's going on and how we're going to react to this disaster or whatever going on at the moment. For instance, like I told you, one of my pet peeves is that, we put these people, when we get ready to evacuate, we put them on these buses or these airplanes or whatever. There's no record of who's going where. And then when it's time for the people to return home, it's kind of like, well, you're on your own. Well, that should not be. We should make sure that we are responsible for them leaving and we are responsible for them returning home because we want all our citizens to return back home.
Okay, guys, I don't see any questions out there, so y'all must be okay. So I know y'all already at the polls. Voting starts February 14th, Valentine's Day, and ends as primary election, February 14th, and end February 25th. Election day is March 1st. So we need to ask questions. We need because she's the first person. Well, she's really the second person on the podcast, and we're gonna go on and on. I have 2 each week. So we got to ask these questions because this is our city, our county, and we need to put the right people in the right places. Okay, so what are your main concerns about this position?
Well, it's a new position to me. Just like when I stepped in as county clerk, I was not from a government background. I came from a private sector background. And of course, there's going to be a learning curve for me. Of course, there will be. And, I'm going to have to deal with a lot of things I have not dealt with before. For instance, coastal protection, the erosion of our coastal infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, things like that I've never dealt with before. But all I can tell you and tell the voters of Jefferson County, I am willing and able. I will learn. I will seek the answers that will benefit us as a whole, and I will make sure that whatever I give you, it will be more than 100%. So other than that, I'm not concerned about anything because God has gifted me with a good mind, Deborah. I'm grateful for that, and the knowledge to seek what I need to learn. So as long as I can do those things, as long as He's given me mind and the physical ability He's given me this past year, I know that He has plans for me, and I'm going to follow through on those plans. But the citizens of Jefferson County will not suffer for me being there for anything. They will benefit from me being there.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so everybody who's running for election, every candidate has a goal. What would you like to achieve your first year as being county judge?
Well, my first year being county judge, I like to make sure that we have a very cohesive environment within the county at all times. And like I said, that comes to the department development and stuff as a whole, so that we're all working for the same goal at the same time. The other thing I would like to see done is that we get this that at some point in time we get an election administrator to handle our elections to make sure that none of our voters are ever disenfranchised, and then we have someone that is nonpartisan and that will always have the best interest of the voters at hand. And I guess the last thing that I probably would be concerned about would just to make sure that for my court hearings and thing for probate, because I know a lot of times when you're waiting and you're anxious to get things done, you don't want to be put off and delayed. So I want to make sure that I'm accessible at all times to make sure that for anyone that needs to come through the probate court or the guardianship court, in the court that I will be handling, that they will not have long wait times and I will do it expeditiously.
It takes a while for someone to go through a probate court. Am I correct?
It should not. I mean, you know what? When my mother passed, I was able to probate my mother's will. I did it myself. I did it pro se. And it's one of the things that Judge Brannick changed because when he got there, he would no longer let anyone do anything pro se. Well, there's a lot of things you need attorneys for, but there's some things that you really don't need an attorney for. And everybody don't have the money to pay an attorney. So if you're willing to study and look and find the forms, in fact, if you even look like on the district clerk website, he has a lot of forms and stuff that you can use to handle different court cases for yourself. If you want your name changed, if you want to get a divorce, you don't necessarily have to have an attorney. Now, if you got a mess, you may want to get one, but other than that, and I want to go back to that. I want to go back to if there's no conflict within the family and it's just a straight probate will or whatever, and the wishes of the decedent, the person that's died, should be granted, then anybody should be able to do it. If it's the daughter, the son, or whoever, the husband, then there's no reason they can't do that paperwork themselves as long as they're confident in doing what they're doing. And there's a how-to for legal services on everything.
Now, I know that when someone dies without a will, they die intestate. So
Right.
the court appoints the administrator, right?
Right. You would probably need an attorney for that,
You
something like
probably need an
that.
attorney, right, for
But
that
if the
one.
person dies and leaves a will and is very specific what their wishes are, and there's no family member that's contesting what their wishes were, that can be handled pro se. You mute. You muted.
I got it.
Okay.
Alberta Rice says you very informative. Miss Carolyn is doing a great job.
Thank you, Alberta.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate you guys coming on and asking questions. Yes, I will be continue asking questions, but I need to know what's in your head, what you want of your county judge. As far as the vicinity of the Jefferson County, that's Orange. I mean, that's Port Arthur. Orange is not part of Jefferson County, is it?
No, it's
Okay,
Orange County.
that's Orange County. So it's just Port Arthur and all the suburbs, right?
Yeah, Port Arthur, Port Neches, Neyland, Groves, Beaumont. You got parts of Nome. You got China, Cheeks, we call all of them Bevel Oaks. All those areas are a part of Jefferson County.
Nice. Sour Lake.
Sour Lake, yeah,
Okay.
part of Sour Lake,
Okay.
a small part of it.
Small part of it. Oh, okay. So it's extensive. It really is.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
How do you manage your time?
How do I manage my time? Well, I mean, I just take a day at a time. I do what I can. I get done what I can, and I try to prioritize what's important and what's not, and just go from there. The first time I give my first time to God, which is always important. So everything after that is, immaterial. Everything after that is like immaterial because it's gonna fall in place once you do that. So I'm good.
Great job. What is your most significant challenge facing the court for what you are running for, and how can that challenge be addressed?
Hmm. Well, I guess the most significant challenge is that I'm running against an incumbent. But we also have to remember that incumbent got there several years ago by running on a Democratic ticket, and he's changed from Democrat to Republican. And it's always tough to run against any incumbent, regardless of what your credentials are. But I think that it's time for change. That's my saying. It's time for change. And even though he is an incumbent, you know, a race is a race, and there's no winner or loser until a fat lady sings. So if everybody gets out and vote for me, Carolyn LeBlanc Guidry, then I can win this race, and I can be an asset to Jefferson County.
Do you have a motto?
Do I have a motto? Yeah, I do. Let go and let God.
Okay.
That's always in my motto.
That's always in your mind.
Now with my children, what I tell my children, their motto is God bless the child has got its own.
Yeah.
That's always my motto for them. But with me, it's always let go and let God, because when you have children, you have to learn to do that anyway, Deborah.
Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. You know, I know. Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I have a question. Let me get to it. Hold on. When Scott Kapoor says, will the county judge be able to influence the development of youth programs in Jefferson County? I'm gonna keep that up for you.
I'm trying to think about that one. I know we have different programs and stuff for like drug abuse and things like that. I would hope that, within the organizational development, that we can go back to the JPs, because the JPs normally handled, most of the time, they were the ones that were handling the youths. Mostly the truancy, which no longer plays into that, was done away with. But I would hope that at some point in time we can get back to that and have programs for the youth. But then again, that comes with working with the different political subdivisions and their entities, because they're the ones that have the parks and everything, the recreational parks and things like that, to facilitate our youth. So that goes back to still working with the political subdivisions and us developing a relationship to do things together.
So, okay, hold on. I'm thinking this question is also a continuation of the other question. Would county judge be able to effectuate changes for our youth programs? So the county judge does work with the youth, or what?
No, not really. Not the county judge per se. Like I said, the only programs I knew that they had programs, and not necessarily for the youth, for drug abuse and things like that. And then they had programs through the truancy programs that the JPs controlled. But like I told you, truancy went away with the legislation. If you know that, we no longer have truancy. So they're not monitoring those things, but that's something that I would like to see come back, but it would take a legislative change in order to do that. But the only way that we can effectuate change for the youth programs is to work with our political subdivisions. Like I said,
Mhm.
our cities like Beaumont, we have Rogers Park, we have Sterling Pruitt Center, we have all these centers and stuff. So what we need to do is come together with our political subdivisions and perhaps develop programs with them because we
Mhm.
don't have one per se.
Gwen said yes. She said she's speaking mostly for crisis and prevention programs. I guess for the youth department.
Well,
So
that fell under the head. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. I guess that fell in the head of truancy, which we don't have anymore. They took that power away from the JPs. At one time, the JPs had that power to control, like the youth that were missing school and things like that. But they no longer have that power because it was stripped through the legislation for them. So the only power we have is through abuse programs, which most of the time they're not going to be teenagers; they're going to be older adults and like that. But we do have programs for them within the county. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy Wingate. You're muted.
okay, I know that's right. Yeah,
Thank you, Kathy.
we do, but you know, it wouldn't be a democracy if we didn't have both of them.
Right, that's true. That's true. That's the point of it.
Yeah, that's the point of it. You know, it wouldn't be a democracy, so we'll be bored.
You think?
Ah,
Okay.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What are
Yeah.
so you told me your concerns about this position. So when you become judge, county judge for Beaumont, Texas, what
For
will what huh?
for Jefferson County.
I'm sorry for Jefferson. For
I don't
Jefferson.
want nobody. I don't want nobody to feel slighted. I'm not gonna be a county judge just for Beaumont, Texas.
For Jefferson County, what do you promise to do for the citizens?
Well, I promise to be available, accessible. I promise to have an open door policy at all times, and just to listen to. And what I would like to do at some point in time is establish some committees where the citizens would have voices as well that we could hear, or it could be brought to me through different committees and stuff. Like we really need an environmental committee to address issues within the county. With all these plants and stuff here, we really have no structure, especially when disasters or hazardous things happen, like when the plant blew up and things like that. Nobody knows how to address anything. So we need to have committees that will be able to address these issues and educate our citizens as well.
So you spoke on an administrator as far as I guess your right hand man. Is that what it would be for? Your right
No,
what
no. I spoke about an election administrator.
election administrator would that wouldn't be coming under you or
No,
what?
that would actually fall underneath the election commission, which I explained to you was the judge, the voter registrar, the county clerk, and the two-party chairs. They are the presiding board over that particular person. That's
Hmm.
who they will report to.
Well, I tell you one thing. You might not have been a county judge before, but you know a lot about it.
Well, I've sat through all the commissioners' court meetings. I've learned a lot. I've seen what they do. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to run because when you just sitting back and you can't do anything or you can't say anything or you don't have a voice or you don't have a vote, sometimes it's kind of perturbed. It perturbs me, the fact that I want to say, no, y'all should be doing things this way. What do you not see this? Do you not see the benefit of this doing it this way versus that way? So if I get elected as county judge, and I should say I'm going to claim being county judge, then I will have a voice and a vote And that's what we keep telling people. Your vote is so precious. Not just my vote as county judge, but your vote as a citizen is just as important as my vote would be on that commission's court.
Right. You know, back not just back in the day, but even nowadays, the Bible teaches us that if we want something done, or if we want to be someone, to write it down
Yeah.
and give it to God. So you know, that's what he told Moses to do, to write it down. So
Right
a
now.
lot of things that I'm doing right now in my life, I'm
Hmm.
writing it down
Right.
because I want this to come intuition to
Right.
come to pass to me.
Right.
So write it down.
Yeah.
You know, okay. So being a county judge I know it's going to be a tough job. I know that. And being anything really is tough. You know, if you work towards it, how would you pick? How would you pick people to work with you if you need someone? I don't know who comes. I don't know as far as what position comes under you under being under county judge. I don't know what else comes under the county judge.
Well, they have administrative staff. They have staff
Okay.
that help in the courts, and they also have. Right now, he has an attorney on staff, and then you can possibly have a PR person. So, of course, I would want a good, dedicated team, a team that's concerned with the citizens, as I am, that concerned with the well-being of all the citizens of Jefferson County. So that's something that we would have to look at once I get there, whatever the need would be, and whatever the credentials would need to be for that particular position. Of course, I want to make sure that I'm taking care of the priority is just to make sure that all the citizens of Jefferson County are taken care of, and that taxpayers' dollars are not being misused but utilized to the best that we can do. That's
Mhm.
what's important to me.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
I will need a staff. There's no doubt about that. I'm not a one person show. I never have been. I had a great staff in the county clerk's office. So I will definitely need staff within the county judge's office.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, I'm going back to the same thing you said. Election administrator, they have to know the law just well as everybody else have to know the law.
Right,
They have
right, right.
so what are so I'm just trying to get these people ready. So when if they want to apply for, what are some of the criterias of
Well, I don't even know. Right. I mean, right now there is a staff there right now, and I'm
Okay,
always like to see. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
okay,
And I would hope that, if there's a change, that, those people be just as loyal to me as they are to their former boss. So
right.
it's kind of hard to say, when I first ran as county clerk and I won, the first thing people said, oh, she gonna get rid of everybody. Well, that would have been a very dumb move. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
right,
Especially me going in there and not knowing nothing, and I'm gonna get rid of everybody. That does not
right.
even make sense. So, like with any situation, you have to go in and assess the situation, see what's needed, and make sure that you make the right decisions for the citizens of Jefferson County. That's what it's all about. It's not about me. It's not about me at all. Yes, I'm a citizen and I want to be treated fairly, but we got to make sure that all our citizens are treated fairly.
Okay, Miss Gidget, what do you need us to do as far as citizens, as far as people voting? What do you need us to do to help you with your election?
Well, I need people to get out. First of all, make sure you register to vote, because you can't vote if you're not registered. So make sure you register to vote, and then make sure you show up at the polls. If you can't show up at the polls, then if you qualify for a mail ballot, make sure you get that mail ballot on time, or just help somebody.
Hmm.
Encourage your younger people within your family to get out and vote. They need to realize the importance of that vote. A lot of times when you tie it to what services they're getting, they may understand. I remember I went to a school one time to speak to the governmental class, and we were talking, and just so happened, just before then, they had cut the bus services for the kids' after school programs.
Right. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. And what I explained to them, do you realize the importance of your vote? Because if you don't get the right people in offices, then this is what happens. Your services get cut. I say your service, like your bus service for your after school program. What? Who did that? Kind of like that. They were surprised to know that it's not the school district, it's where the money comes from the state and stuff that allows these services and stuff. So every elected official, like I said, have a sphere of authority. Everyone has budgets and stuff. So it's very important that we get the right people in office that care about what our needs are down here at the bottom as well. So everyone just needs to get out and vote, bring somebody with them. Don't wait till the last minute. I need you to vote in the primary, and then I need you to come back in November for sure and vote for Carolyn Guidry for county judge.
And that's where we break up at, because we'll go out and vote, but when they have to come back to vote again, we already voted for you once. Why need to vote for you again?
That'd be like, oh, I thought you won. No,
yeah.
November is the big election, but I want all of it. Let's start making it a habit for the primary, March the 1st. Like you said, early voting starts February the 14th. Take your sweetheart to the poll. Wouldn't that be a nice gesture? Take your sweetheart to the poll and vote. And then you have until the 25th for early voting. And then if you don't make it those 2 weeks, then please come back March 1st and cast your ballot for, can you see it? Carolyn LeBlanc Carolyn LeBlanc Guidry floor. Let me stand up. County judge.
We see it.
Please. Not only do I need you, believe it or not, you need me.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Like I said, once before, your slogan should be, if you like me doing for county clerk, you'll love me for county judge.
Yeah.
That'll work. But if I'm not mistaken, yesterday was the last day to register to vote.
That's correct. Right? Okay. That's correct. Yes, that's correct. For this election.
For this election.
But if there's any runoff, you still have time to register for the runoff. So go ahead and get registered.
Okay. What about mail-in?
And then for November, the last day for mail-in is going to be whatever the Friday is once early voting starts. Let me look at my calendar, Deborah.
Friday before early voting?
The Friday after early voting starts.
Okay.
So early voting starts on the 14th, so probably the 18th is the last day that you can get your mail ballot in the county clerk's office.
Right.
Mail ballot application in the county clerk's office. But Deborah, let's also stress the point, the mail ballot applications have changed.
I was just going to say that, right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. And this year, you must either put your driver's license number on it or the last 4 digits of your social security number. And when you put that information on your application, when your ballot comes, there's a space on there by your signature as well to do the same thing. Put your driver's license number or the last 4 digits of your social security number. It must be on there, otherwise your ballot will get rejected.
Right.
That's the new legislation that came out with all this new Texas laws and stuff that they did.
Right. It was on television last night, I think, about all these rejected mail-in ballots. So because of just what you said, either the driver's license wasn't on there or the social security number or whatever.
Yeah. The only good thing that they did change this year is that once you get your mail ballot and you send it in, if it's rejected for any reason, then they are, the county clerk's office or the election administrator is obligated to try to reach you where you can actually clarify whatever the problem is with your mail ballot that you sent in. And that's why it's very important. If you look on the application, there's a place for you to put an email address and a telephone number. I would suggest put your email and telephone number on there just in the event that your mail ballot get rejected, that they are able to call you immediately in order to clarify and to clear up whatever the issue is with your mail ballot being accepted. So you
Right.
want to make sure you do those things. Put your email address or at least a telephone number where you can be reached. And they are obligated, according to the statute, the legislation, to try and reach you in order to clarify the error, the reason for your rejection.
Right. Okay, Miss Gidry. One more question, not question. One more thing I would like you to do. I want you to tell me why should I vote for you. But before you answer that, a question just posed up. So answer this question, then you can talk to about that. Okay.
Okay.
It says, why are they still sending out voter registration cards? And when you get to the poll and show it to them, they will say, "I just need your ID."
Yeah. Well, because your voter registration card is not required unless it's a secondary method of ID. Your primary method of ID has to be your driver's license or some form of a photo ID. But if you don't have that, there is a secondary ID that you can use, and your voter registration card is a part of that. I always suggest keep your voter registration card because a lot of times on the database, they may have a problem finding you, but if they have that VUIT number, they should always be able to find you to verify that you are a certified voter. But your form of ID, your first form of ID acceptable is a photo ID.
And they do run into that at the polls. They run into you, they can't find you on the database.
Right,
So
right.
then that's when they ask you for their ID card, and
Mhm.
then they, like she said, they look for the VUD number, and when they find that VUD number, then they'll know whether or not you are registered to vote.
Right,
You still in there or whatever. And if you're not in there, they know how to call downtown to see, to see what's going on, to add you onto the
right,
database. So
right.
it wouldn't be any problem. Okay, back to my
Okay.
question.
Okay.
So
Why should
because
you vote for me,
yeah,
Jefferson?
because someone asked me that, so I said, well, she'll be on. I'm gonna let
Okay.
her ask that question.
Okay. Well,
Answer that question.
you should vote for me just cause.
Oh,
No, I would hope a voter would vote for me because they'll look at my past record to see that I'm not a politician. I have always been a servant to the people. And my interest has always been to make sure that I serve the people. That's why I implement such things as, the voting where you can vote centers where you can vote anywhere, and to make things easier for our voters, to make sure that no voter here in Jefferson County is disenfranchised. But my goal, even as county clerk, has always been about service and to make sure that I improve wherever I am. So why should you vote for me? You should vote for me and give me an opportunity to make the changes that our county needs. Our county needs a different type of emergency management where we're not sending people out during these disasters and they're displaced and unable to get back home. Our county needs a cohesive, an elected official that's willing to work with all entities, not just a few. Where our vested interest is not just the refineries, but what are the refineries doing to us? You know, vote for me because I am willing, I am dedicated, and I promise you, I I don't make too many promises, but I promise you, I will give you my best. So please do vote for me, Carolyn LeBlanc Guidry, for your next county judge.
you're willing, ready, and able, right?
That's right. I'm willing, ready, and able. Thanks be to God, though.
Yeah, I know that's right. We
I
cannot
couldn't
leave
say
them out.
I couldn't have said that a year ago, but I can say that right now and say it and smile and know that it's all good. It's all good.
Roscoe Compton says, you have a service record of truth.
Thank you, Roscoe. I appreciate you.
Yes,
Looking
ma'am.
good.
So with that being said, I enjoyed you tonight. I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Miss Guidry, to talk to the people, to let them know who the next why they should vote for you, or the things that you would like to do for the city for the county. I keep saying city of
County,
Beaumont. I know
county.
for the
Okay.
our
County.
county,
Right.
our Jefferson County, and because it's needed. It's
Right.
well needed. I mean, that we have gotten people in office as far as mayor and city councilmen. We got them in office because they posed to us the right things, and look, and it's coming to pass. With
Right.
whatever they said they would do, you can see it's trying to come back. It's not going to come to pass like this. It takes
No,
time. It
nothing's
takes time.
immediate. But I
Right,
like what you're fixing to say, so I'm going to claim it. I am your Nace County judge, so please get out and vote for me.
right, right. Like let me see who was that earlier. She corrected me on it. I think that was Gwen said, I can't find what she said, make your vision plain. So yeah, write your vision down and make it plain.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
it. That's it. Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming on tonight. We appreciate you guys because we need you every time I come on, because I'm going to bring people on this week and next week and the following week to let you know who's running and what their ideas are, what they promised to us they're going to do, uh, to help us as citizens. So Thursday night, I will be back on Thursday night. And when I come back on Thursday night, which is February 3rd, I'll have NAACP President Michael Cooper, who's a candidate for Texas governor. He'll be on Thursday night, and I need your support in helping me to bring him on and to ask questions to see where he is, where he's going to lead Texas. Now he's not running for just our county; he's running for the whole state of Texas. So I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you to help me with those questions, and we're gonna post those questions out to him. God bless you, and God keep you in my prayer. And like I said, I appreciate you, Miss Gidry. Anything that I can do for you, I'm here for you. Just all you have to do is call me, and I'll be there.
I do have yard signs available, Deborah, so you're more than welcome to get some.
Oh yeah, yeah. You forgot to say that you do have some available. And anybody want a yard sign? What do they need to do?
They can just text me at 409-767-3355.
Let me put that on a sticker. Hold on. Let me see. Let me make a band on that. 409
767-3355. They can just text me if they want to sign. Text me their address. Make sure they get one.
And how many signs they want?
Yeah.
Oh, wrong sign.
Wrong sign. There you go.
Okay, so if you want a banner, text that number. Look at that number on there and call her, and she'll bring a sign. Do you have any people who's calling other, the citizens and everything? Do you have a phone poll?
We're still working on that. In fact, I think my campaign manager online is something that we are working on at this time, but we have not completed the process. But normally they don't start until about the week before early voting, which is next week.
Right.
We don't have a whole lot of time yet.
Okay, Carolyn. Let me see what they said. Carolyn leave messages on the campaign website for signs as well.
Oh, that's G. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, Carol. Thank you. Like I said, thank you. The time has grown nigh, and we're gonna go ahead and get off of here because I am respecting your time as well as mine. And so, like I said, anything that I need to do for you and help you, I'm here for you. And we got the sides together. And so that's one thing. God bless you and God keep you is my prayer. If I can help somebody as I pass along this way, then I know that my living is not in vain. Smooches, y'all. Smooches. Good night.
Bye.